Right now at 5, the public speaking their mind when it comes to the future of Modus Center and funding its renovations.
You have 30 or 32 teams, and there's 50, 60, 70 cities that want these teams.
Plus millions of acres of fire across the U.S. Why one in Oregon is a top priority and how groups not helping the fire fight are helping out. And the warning from state police and the FBI about people impersonating ICE and pulling drivers over. Our top story here at 5, the debate continues over the future of the Modus Center and the Portland Trail Blazers. Ahead of the August 12th vote on the Modus Center term sheet, a few Portland city councilors held a town hall this afternoon to hear residents' thoughts on what they should do. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm John Adams. Our Jake Coulter heard from some of those in attendance today and brings us their opinions. Jake.
Yeah, John, we heard everything from calls for the Blazers owner to increase his stake to someone who said they would leave Portland if the Blazers left.
I don't want to live in a city that doesn't have enough major league sports.
Portland Trail Blazers are mulling over a first draft term sheet for the $573 million publicly funded Modus Center renovation and upgrade. And resident Lance Welch wants to see them agree to keep the Blazers home.
I just hope cooler heads will prevail.
But other residents think the Blazers are being unreasonable.
Tom Dundon and billionaires like him have to stop holding cities like Portland hostage so that they can make a few extra $1 million every year.
Chris Olson would like to see more of a public-private partnership.
I think it's a good idea to put some funds into the Modus Center, but it can't just be all of our money.
Resident Amber Cook agrees.
To me, shameless to ask us to do all the money when they're the ones that are going to be making the vast majority of the money. So I don't think that's right. So they should at least be putting in a fair amount of money, and we should be getting something back for our money as well.
I mean, I don't want to just write a blank check either, but I think we're going to get out with him paying a part of this. I mean, we're the owner of the property.
Portland bought the Moda in 2024 for $1.
Why, after 28 years, I think it's time to update your house. If you're going to be continue to expect to have the same level of tenants. If not, then you become a second tier sort of house.
The Blazers have confirmed that they are reviewing this term sheet. And the council will revisit the term sheet on August 5th, a week before that August 12th deadline. John?
All right, our Jake Coulter tonight. Jake, thanks so much for that report. To the latest on wildfires burning across Oregon right now, in particular the Akawa Butte fire burning north of Sisters. Yesterday, Governor Tina Kotek announced as far as firefighting resources, this is priority 1 in the nation right now. All campfires are banned on public lands in Central Oregon as the Bureau of Land Management moves to state 2 fire restrictions. There are level 1, 2, and 3 evacuation orders in several counties, but in particular the town of Sisters north of the McKenzie Bend Highway. It's currently estimated at 26,000 acres, but a red flag warning is in effect through tonight. While firefighters are hard at work on the fire line, the American Red Cross is in Sisters helping evacuees. They shared photos of their shelter in Sisters High School as they serve meals and snacks to those who have had to leave their homes. The Salvation Army serving lunch and dinner today. The Red Cross has opened 2 new shelters as the evacuation zones grow at Burns High School and the Crook County Fairgrounds. That's on top of the 3 already in place in Madras, Pendleton, and Sisters. Well, firefighters say it's been a challenging couple of weeks with more than 150 wildfires now burning across Oregon. We got new video yesterday of one of those fires, the Bench Fire, burning in Jefferson County near Warm Springs. In a briefing last night, the Oregon Fire Marshal said that since July 10th, the state has mobilized more than 700 firefighters using nearly 250 fire engines. Across Oregon, the fires have burned more than 500,000 acres thus far. Well, let's check in with meteorologist Joe Ranieri right now to see what the conditions are like in central and eastern Oregon. Joe, are things going to improve out there?
Unfortunately, no. The good thing, though, we have going for us in terms of the forecast, no thunderstorms are in the, forecast for tonight or tomorrow, but still the air quality is going to be really bad over the next 24 to 48 hours, probably more like the earlier part of next week. Things will start to maybe clear out a little bit. You need a shift in the wind direction to push that out of there, but that smoke is so thick and those wildfires continue to burn, so there's really not going to be much movement. You also need a little bit of rain to improve the air quality, and that's not going to happen as well. Now, John mentioned this just about a minute ago or so. Red flag warning in place throughout the east side of the state until late tonight. Heat advisory in place along the Oregon-Idaho border where that heat is going to continue. And again, the air quality will stay in effect, or that air quality alert will stay in effect until the early part of next week. You'll notice where the smoke is going to be really intensifying. It's going to be throughout the Pendleton area, Burns, where all those wildfires are burning. We'll have, luckily for the west side of the state, have that westerly flows. That's going to push everything away from us. If the winds change a little bit, we could see some of that light wind or that light smoke come into our area, but right now that's not going to be the case. The winds will be holding pretty strong throughout parts of the gorge and the east side of the state, anywhere from 25 to 30 miles an hour tonight and into tomorrow. But the one thing that we're not going to be seeing is any change in the forecast in terms of that's going to help crews fighting those wildfires. We need heavy downpours and some cooler conditions, and unfortunately that's not going to be happening on the east side of the Cascades. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast in a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. We'll see you later in the show. We'll stay with KGW for ongoing coverage this wildfire season as dozens of fires continue to burn. Look for updates on KGW.com and the latest evacuations and progress toward containment. New today, the Lynn County Sheriff's Office is assisting in recovery efforts after a hiker fell on Mount Jefferson. The reports first came in around 11:30 yesterday from two climbers who reported seeing a third climber fall down the west side of the summit near the Red Saddle. A National Guard helicopter searched the area and found what they believe to be that hiker's gear. They've since identified him as Jared Impey, an experienced climber from Idaho attempting a solo summit. Based on witness accounts, Impey could not have survived that fall. In Portland, police are asking people to share what they know about a crash involving two motorcycles. It left both riders with critical injuries, one in life-threatening condition. It happened sometime before 11:15 last night at St. Helens Road and Northwest Front Avenue. The Police Bureau's major crash team is investigating. And developing this weekend, the Washington County Sheriff's Office is searching for the driver who hit a bicyclist and left the scene. The Sheriff's Office says around 4 Friday afternoon, an SUV turned in front of the cyclist, a 74-year-old man, and hit him. This was at the intersection of Northwest West Union Road and Niconnie Avenue in Rock Creek. He was taken to the hospital with critical injuries. The side mirror of the suspect's SUV broke off in that crash. Deputies believe it's a gray 2011 to 2015 Ford Edge. If you know the driver or have seen that vehicle, reach out to the Sheriff's Office. And the Washington County Sheriff's deputies today arrested a man for allegedly drunk driving after he crashed his car into the living room of an apartment. A 12-year-old girl was inside the room at the time, but fortunately, she was not hurt. And a warning from Oregon State Police and the FBI. They say a group of men posing as ICE agents pulled over a driver in Clackamas County, detained them, and then assaulted them. It happened on Highway 211 east of Woodburn on July 17th. Investigators say the men were driving a blue or gray SUV with no license plates that had flashing red and blue lights. The men wore green shirts, face coverings, and tactical vests labeled police. One of them even had a rifle.
This is the kind of attacks that we were afraid would actually happen. We know that when ICE roams the streets without any kind of identification, any kind of accountability, that's the message you're sending to people, that this kind of stuff is okay.
Police say if you're feeling unsure about a traffic stop, consider stopping in a well-lit area or a place where there are other people around you. Anyone with information on this case or may have encountered someone posing as law enforcement, you're asked to contact Oregon State Police. Well, check this out. Volunteers turned a portion of Portland's Central East Side into a colorful work of art today. Community members gathered this morning at Southeast 7th and Sandy to paint a colorful Chawam street mural. Those volunteers were alongside Indigenous artists from the Portland Indigenous Marketplace. The design was created by Klamath tribal artist Rowena Jackson, and it honors the endangered chawam fish that are native to Oregon's upper Klamath Basin. The marketplace is working closely with the PAVE, another nonprofit, in an effort to uplift indigenous art.
They are ways that community can come together, build something, and this one particularly, we're hoping to transform the whole space in the coming years, so it looks different every year, and I think that's, something great.
Well, this event kicks off a 2-week cultural plaza project. It continues through August 7th with events including an indigenous art market, a short film fest, and other community gatherings at the pop-up plaza.